Friends, today we are going to start with Unit 8 of a supplementary reader, that is Memories of Childhood. And in this unit, it represents the autobiographical episodes from the lives of two women from marginalized communities who look back on their childhood and they reflect on their relationship with the mainstream culture. The first account, that is the cutting of my long hair, it is by an American Indian woman who was born in the late 19th century. And the second account, it is We Too Are Human Beings by a contemporary Tamil Dalit writer. Now, here the first account, that is the cutting of my long hair, written by Jit Kalasa. Now Jit Kalasa, it is the pen name of the writer Gertrude Simmons Bonin. And she was a Native American writer and she had written several works about her struggles as a young girl with regards to her identity. Now in her story, The Cutting of My Long Hair, she recalled her first day in the land of apples, where it was bitterly cold and there was no air around. And she was admitted with her Native American boys and girls. So she went to the dining room. The noise of the breakfast bell crashed into her ears. She was angry by the constant sound of the clatter of shoes. And she wished for the freedom. She wanted to be free. She wanted to enjoy that freedom which she enjoyed with her mother at home. Now the white woman placed them in a line to go to the dining room, and she was made to wear a school uniform which felt uncomfortable. Her blanket was also taken up from her shoulders, so she was feeling embarrassed. Now, in the dining area, a small bell was tapped, and every student pulled out a chair from under the table. Now, the narrator also pulled out a chair and sat down, but she was surprised to find that no one had sat down except her. Just as she was trying to rise, the second bell rang, and all sat down, and she had to also sit down again. She heard a man saying a prayer, and the students sat with their heads bowed down. Now, the narrator saw that a white woman was looking at her keenly. And after the third bell was tapped, every child started eating with a fork and a knife. The narrator had never done so in her life, so she started crying. Now, one of her friend, that is Judwin, knew some English, and she had overheard the white woman talking about cutting their long and heavy hair. For the narrator, cutting off her hair was totally unacceptable, as her mother had taught her that only prisoners in wars had their hair shingled by the enemy. She knew that short hair was worn by mourners and cowards. Now, Judwin had warned her that the school officials were strong and they would have their way. So, the narrator decided to put up a fight against these school officials and not to submit willingly. And so, she escaped upstairs without anyone's notice, and she went and hid in a large room which was dark, and she had drawn the curtains over there. Then she crawled under the bed, which was too far from the door. People started searching for her, and she could hear Judwin calling out her name. But she didn't answer. But they found her, and she was dragged out from that place. She was resisting, kicking, and scratching wildly, but she was carried and tied to a chair. At last she felt the cold scissor blade against her neck and her thick hair was cut down. She couldn't resist any more and she lost her spirit. She cried out, but realized that there was no one like her mother to comfort her. You can see in the picture also how the narrator, she was hiding under the in the large room, and she was hiding under the bed which was far away from the door. She tried a lot, but she was at last is all the tries or all her attempts were in vain, and at last she had to give up and she lost her hair. She kept on crying, shouting, kicking, scratching, but there was no one like her mother to comfort her. Now I'll be explaining the next account, that is about the Dalit writer Bama. That is, we too are human beings. Now, Bhama is the pen name of our writer Faustina Mary Fatima Rani, and she is a Tamil Dalit. And in her story, we too are human beings. So she talks about her childhood when she was studying in the third standard. Okay, the walk from her school to her home was just 10 minutes, but she would take half an hour to 1 hour to reach home. The performing monkey, the snake charmer, the cyclist who paddled for many days to earn money, the Marietta temple, and Pongal offerings, which were cooked outside. It were some sights that attracted her. Now, as we know that whenever you are also means as a child, children are always attracted towards the nature or the outside things or outside incidents which are going. Okay, so when they are moving out, they are always in their world. They just want to watch each and everything. So here also our writer, she also pinpoints the her childhood memory, that when she was in standard third and she, just from her house to the school, it was only a distance of 10 minutes she had to cover, but yet she used to take half an hour to 1 hour to reach her home, because on the way she used to watch the monkeys, the snake charmer, the cyclist, and the Marietta temple, and the Pongal offerings which were being cooked. And these all sights attracted her. Sometimes there would be political processions, puppet shows, and some people doing some stunts. And all these were coffee clubs and seasonal fruit stalls. All these things attracted her. Now, one day, while she was returning home, she saw a landlord overseeing the process of threshing on a street. She saw an elder of her community carrying a small packet by holding it with a string. Now she saw an elder of her community carrying a small packet by holding it with a string. It seemed to contain some vadai. Now the narrator felt like laughing because she thought the packet might come undone. However, the elder was not touching the packet, and when he came to landlord, he crouched and handed over the packet to him. Now, when she returned home, she told her elder brother Anand about the incident which had made her laugh. However, Anand was not amused. He told her that the elder came from a lower caste and the landlord belonged to the upper caste. And the upper caste believed that if the lower caste touched the food with their hands, the food would get polluted. So the elder was holding it with the string. On hearing this, the narrator got angry and she wondered what the people of the upper caste thought they were. Her brother told her that they were born in low caste community and so they would never be given any dignity or any kind of respect. He spoke about an incident where she avoided telling a person to which caste he belonged. He told his sister that she should study because only education would help her to throw off all the indignities. Bama studied hard and stood first in her class and made many friends. So here we have the two different accounts of two different writers in which they remember about their childhood. These are the childhood memories of two different writers which are really very inspirational. In the second account, it tells us about the casteism also. But only the education is a weapon, we can say, that will just throw out this all these evils from our society, and the people will understand and the people will have the emotional and the sensible feelings for each other. Okay, so here we end with this lesson, And I would also like to tell that this lesson is would not be asked for your exam. It is not included in your syllabus, but do watch this video just so that you will have the idea about this lesson. Okay, so we'll be meeting in the next session. Till then, goodbye.